In a loan, you're given a grid with some numbers inside the grid. So the goal is to figure out what numbers to shade based on a few set of rules. The rules are listed here. So the first rule, no number should appear twice in a row or a column. So say for example, if I'm looking at this row right here, I see two twos and two fives. So one of the two has to be shaded and one of the five will have to be shaded. Next, two black shaded cells cannot be adjacent horizontally or vertically, so they should be apart from one another. And all non-shaded cells should be connected either horizontally or vertically. So once you shade in the cells, once you figure out which cells to shade in, the white, um, the unshaded cells should all form a continuous path. So let's go ahead and start with this example here. So like I mentioned earlier, there are two twos and two fives here. So I'm just going to start with the twos. So one of the twos should be shaded. So it's going to be either this two or this two. And if I look um, in the columns here, I see that there are two twos here, and I see that there are two twos here. So which two should I shade in? Well, you could start with one, and if you do make a mistake later on and figure out you shaded the wrong two, you could always come back and unshade them and then shade the right one. So for now, I'm going to say this two is going to be shaded in. So for illustration purposes, I'm just going to change this to black. Next, one of these fives needs to be shaded because you cannot have duplicate numbers in a row or a column. So which five should I shade in? Well, I can't shade in this five because that would violate this rule right here where two shaded cells cannot be adjacent horizontally or vertically. So if I were to shade in this cell, which again, it could be the wrong shaded cell, it could be this one, but for now, we're just going to have to see what works best. I'm just going ahead and shade in this five right here. All right, so next, if I look at this row right here, I don't see any duplicates here, so I'm not going to shade in any cell in this row. Now for this row here, I see that there are two twos and two ones. So for the twos, I could shade in this two, or I can shade in this two. So which one should I shade in? So let's see if I can see if there is anything that can give away any hint as to which one to shade in. Well, let's see. It's tough. Well, let's start with the ones instead. So this one should be shaded or this one should be shaded. So I'm going to have to decide here. Well, if I look in this column right here, the ones only appear once. The ones here appear twice. So logically speaking, I think this one should be shaded in. Again, if I make a mistake, I can just always unshade it and then shade the other number. So now let's see. If I shade in this cell right here, there are still two twos you can see right here. So I can't shade in this two now. So logically, this one would have to be shaded in. Okay. If I move on to the next row here, so I see there are two fives here and here. I also see there's a 5 and a 5 here. So one of these 5s needs to be shaded in. I'm going to go ahead and say this one should be shaded in. Next, this row right here, there's a 2 here and there's a 2 here. So one of these 2's have to be shaded in. But since two shaded cells cannot be adjacent horizontally or vertically, and since I already shaded in this one, I'm just going to shade in this one right here to satisfy the rules of alone. Okay. So if I checked the columns, there's no duplicates here, no duplicates here, no duplicates here, no duplicates here. Okay, so for this column right here, there's a 3 here and there's a 3 here. So one of these should be shaded. So which one should it be? Well, I can't shade in this one because if I do shade in this one is not continuous now, right? If I were to shade in this one doesn't form a continuous path with the rest of the unshaded cells, which is part of rule number 3, right? All non-shaded cells should be connected in some way. So I can't shade in this 3. So logically now, this cell has to be shaded in. And I think that's it. If I check again, let me go ahead and just change the text color here. All right, so 22551. So this 2 and this 5. 2 1 3 5. Yeah. So it looks like this puzzle is done here, and I satisfied all the rules. So no number should appear unshaded more than once in a row or column. That's true here, true here, true here, true here, and true here. True here, true here, true here, true here, true here. Okay. No shaded cells can be adjacent horizontally or vertically. I don't see that. This is diagonally. That's perfectly fine. And all the non-shaded cells should form a continuous path, which they do. So this would be my final answer to this particular puzzle. So yeah, that's how you play the game. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. If you have any other comments or questions, just leave it down in the comments section below. Thank you and have a great day.